Drawing number 10, round to obround. So we have a round and an obround shape here. We've got a height here of 112. We've drawn this at 60 degrees for this angle here. For simplicity, that's why it's 112.58, so a half is close enough. Just because we only have our 30-60 and we're going to be drawing our pattern off to the one side. So if this was any other of a different angle, it would be better to have a drafting table with an arm that's on a protractor that you can lock in. But we just don't have that. So we just got the T-square and the tools that we have. So that's why this was drawn at 60. We're 130 between these radiuses here, so we're 180 overall. So we do have to do a half radius down below, just like this one here. So it's 25, so we do have to come down 25. We should have lots of room here to do the pattern, and this one's up 40. And realistically, we didn't even need to draw the other half because this is symmetrical. We're always try to draw the least amount as possible. So if you can just do half, that's fine, or even half a pattern, sometimes that's fine. Those 3-piece elbows that we're doing, really we just have to do the bottom gore, the pattern angle, that's it. So it's really just trying to minimize the drawing here as well. But what we did over here is we left that there just to give it a better visual. And we do not have to draw the top here. It's not necessary. So this is what these are here. Those are kind of a top view, bottom view, right? So we're just kind of making some element lines there. So let's go ahead and put these element lines on. And then we'll just go ahead and just start making the pattern. So that's set at 25. Let's divide this out. Let's bring this up and down. This one's really not too overly complicated. Like anything, it's pretty simple once you know how to do it, once you get the visual. The remembering's the hard part. So what you guys are doing here is creating your own little book. So you've done it once here and you got to practice. So that's the only way you're really going to remember is to practice this over and over. Let's run over a little bit there. Okay, those are our element lines that are going on there. Now we need to, how far is this wrap? This basically is what that is. How far does that go over to the other side? So this is 25, so we've got 50 times pi. 50 times pi, 157. And we're going to divide that by 2. 78.5. Because we're just going halfway over. Or we only have the semicircle here on the one side. Yeah. So, and then maybe the space in between as well. So divide that by 6. So this would be millimeters. These are all important here. This was millimeters for our layout here. Okay, just want to make sure I'm not drawing more than I have to here. So let's go ahead and we're going to need to make a line parallel to this one, 78.5. So that'll give us our whole wrap on the one side. So let's just come off this point here. Draw out. Really we only need 78, so that's lots. 78.5, and then we'll just do the same thing here. I'm gonna have to measure out 78.5. There. Again, just making that parallel. Going up to the top. So this will be the whole wrap for the one side, and then really we just need the little flat section that's in the middle here. So if we drew a line from here to here, that'll just be a little flat section. So let's go ahead and we'll divide that. I think for this one here, I'm just going to use the 13. What we'll do is we'll just go 13 and then plus the 13. So a little hard for me to see here. And then we'll plus the 13 again, 39. Plus 13, 52. 65. And we're going to be pretty close within a half a mil. Okay, let's go ahead and we'll just bring these down. So this is going to have a curve this way. These ones are going to be a little higher up over here. Just because we're unwrapping this. So I'm just going to create those a little bit longer. This one's actually not going to be longer. Need to be longer than this here. There we go. I don't know if it really matters that we number this. We'll just bring these across. Let's just go ahead and bring these across, and we'll number it after or later. Like I said, sometimes people just get hung up in the numbering. So what we've done here is we created these element lines coming up. So if this was to connect to the top there, just basically getting the length. So the length of this line is going to be the same the whole way through. So this is going to create a little happy face down below, and this one over here is going to be above, because they're the exact same length all the way along. And let's just bring these over. These are the ones that are going to go up. And sometimes you just have to wait to the end to get a better visualization, or sometimes you even have to make one. And then you unwrap it and lay it flat, and you get a good visualization with that as well. So for this one here, it's going to be this one. So what we're going to do is over one, down one, over one, down one, this one, over one, down one, over one, up one, over one, up one, over one, up one. There we go there. That's sometimes a lot easier than numbering. Now, so that one went up. Now with the next one, they're going to be coming up this way. So yes, because this one is taller, I should have brought that one up. No problem, we can do that. Let's bring that one up and this one over. There we go. Okay, so since this one's here, that pushes that one up. We're just going to come over one, down one, over one, down one, over one, down one. There's the center, over one, up one, over one, up one, and then here we go. So that is a opposite of down below. So that's a full wrap for that corner. And then maybe what we'll do is we'll just do the straight section there, the flat section. Okay, so we know this is 112, that's the true length. It is a vertical height. So what we'll do is we'll take this 112.5, and from the top here, because this is what it would be here, and we're going to draw down. So we're going to take this 112, create an arc, and then we're going to come over here and take this distance here. So let's double check. So that was 90 minus the 25, so that's 65 from the center to where that curved section starts there. So this will be 65 from here, and we're going to come over, put that right on the dot because that's the same as that one, and then there we go there. And that should create a square corner. So if we come off of this dot here, and that one there, there we go. So it touches, and it touches. That's pretty close. That might be just a little bit off, but like I said, I'm just having a hard time trying to navigate around this camera too. That's pretty close. So that's 90 degrees. And then again, you can duplicate that over to the other side. Also, this is 30 degrees right here. So you can easily flip this over like this. Put that down. Then you could just draw that line up there as well, and that gives you your whole front. So now we've kind of got the front and then wrapping around the one side. And then again, just to duplicate that, taking all these dimensions and duplicating them all over to there. And then from there, you got your pattern. So let's go ahead. Let's put your name. Date. This was a round to Obround. This is the last drawing here. Drawing number 10. And it's a full pattern. Or, well, I guess it'll be a half pattern. And you're going to need a forming direction here. Form to 50. Got a center line here. The center line over here as well. Some quarter marks here. Some quarter marks here and here. And our center line's got the quarter marks as well. I'm going to do a shear line here. You can shear it here. Obviously we can figure out if we can make this in one piece would you put your seam here, or would you put your seam down the center here? Obviously you're not going to make this into one piece, so how are you going to connect this together? So basically trying to figure out where your weld seam is here on this one. Chances are whatever fits into the press the easiest is kind of what it is, right? So it's going to be pretty tight. Well, this is really small, so obviously it's not going to fit into the press brake. Oh, and then just the last thing here, I guess we're got the dots on there, but snake this in here as well. It's always a problem trying to fit things into the press brake. So that just then becomes on how many times you got to cut something, make it smaller, how many pieces, because it doesn't fit into the press. So you might even be forming this one, and then you got weld seams here and here as well. Okay, so just making sure you're going through the list here: quarter marks, shear lines, burn lines. There's our burn lines here. And then again, we just did everything dark on here. We can't do light and dark because I just wanted to make sure this shows up here for the camera. And that's it there. Drawing 10. Obround around. Good. Thank you.